We are joined on the Mixed Morning Show by my cousin, James Mauldin from Texas. Hello, James.
Hey, Corny. Thanks for having me here.
How long have you lived in Texas? Because you grew up in the Winkler area where we used to always get together as family. How long have you been in Texas?
I've been in here since 2006.
Okay, and what part of Texas? Where are you from?
I'm in the Dallas, Fort Worth area. Right now, I'm in a small community just south west of Dallas, Fort Worth called Granbury.
Granbury. Okay, so I've been watching the news, and Texas has felt more like Manitoba than Texas. What are you guys experiencing there in the last little while?
It's been crazy. Well, it started out there with that major wreck that we had I guess last week with a 130 car pileup due to this freezing rain and fog. And just from there, the temperature just kind of kept getting colder and colder. And we weren't expecting it to get as cold as what they said. At first, you kind of think, okay, well, you'll have some snow, which we always expect a couple of cold February days here. But you get like maybe an inch of snow in some areas or some freezing rain. But the forecast kept dropping and dropping, and then they were showing that okay, we're going to get to minus 20 Celsius, and it's like this hasn't happened since 1989, and like all these different things. And then it's like, well, if the number of days that it's going to be below freezing, it's going to be up to like 200 hours of below freezing, which hasn't happened in 70 plus years, kind of thing. And it's just records after records, and it's just crazy.
So as a former Manitoban, how are you handling this versus how your neighbors are all handling this?
So for one thing, I'm still not handling it great because I got rid of all my winter clothes because we don't need them down here. So what we considered a nice fall jacket back in Manitoba is my winter jacket here.
Oh no!
I got gloves, toques, and all those things still, but like, and an ice scraper, which most people don't have. But yeah, like winter boots are a thing of the past. I've work boots; they work well, and but we've been lucky. We've had our power on, and but we have a wood stove, so I've been able to keep warm using that. And however, I just got my water back on because our water actually froze solid here.
Come on.
Yeah, it's like here, the houses here aren't built the same way they are up north because we're built for everything to cool down. We don't build to keep things warm. We don't want to lock in the 100-degree temperatures that we get. So we're built a little differently. They don't insulate the pipes for the exterior walls like you do back home, and it's just crazy that way.
I saw on your social media you walked on water.
I did.
When's the last time you walked on frozen water? That must have been quite a trip.
It was the last time I did it. I was on a vacation in Utah, so this was a completely different experience than in Texas. So we're living on Lake Granbury or the Brazos River, and it hasn't frozen over since 1989. And at that point, it was just like small little areas. And Monday morning, we woke up and it started freezing over. It was frozen over at parts, and it's gotten more and more solid. And today I decided I'm going to go see if I can walk on it. And it was probably about 3 to 4 inches thick in the areas that I was at today. So,
wow. Yeah. See that when there's 4 inches, guys out here are walking out with gear and going ice fishing. I mean, they're not driving on the water, but they're ice fishing. You know, like now I can take my auger. I got to drill through 4 feet of ice to find any liquid. But in Texas, to be walking on the lake, it's got to be a trip.
It's something unusual, and we have like all these Canadian geese that are around there that are just kind of sitting on top of the ice, and I think they're going, how far south do we have to get?
We flew all this way. Go to Texas, they said. It'll be warmer.
Exactly.
Oh, that is wild. And so many places. I mean, we laugh at this, but I mean, Texas, there are some people that have had a lot of problems with, like you said, that massive accident with all those vehicles. How many vehicles was it? 130
There was,
cars?
I think, 130 to 132 vehicles, something like that.
Like
so
that's absolutely tragic. And no electricity throughout so much of Texas.
Yeah.
Without heat, without electricity, I mean, there's a problem.
Yeah, so we ended up having to host my mother-in-law, because she, as of yesterday, she was out with power for 36 hours, and people don't have gas heat in their homes, and so it's just electric heat, and so you're just completely out with everything there. I have friends that are, as of today, they're on hour 60 without any electricity, or they've had it on maybe for an hour or 15 minutes at times, and so they're just completely at a loss, and people don't have backup generators or things like that. So if you're like Home Depot and Lowe's, or generators are flying off the shelves a couple days ago, now you can't find one if you tried.
So as the token Manitoban out there, are people looking to you for wisdom?
Yes, I've been getting a little bit of questions about types of things, to how to stay warm and what to utilize. And it's like, well, layer. It's like just -20 is a nice day in winter back home. So it's like, I'm used to, when we were complaining about this, it's -30 with the wind chill of -40. So but the way people here, they're not dressed for it. They don't have those types of clothes. So they're just, or even the thicker blankets that we are used to. So this is their equivalent of their -40.
Yeah. Well, we've had this polar Arctic vortex come and bring -30s and -40s, wind chills, up to -50 in the last little while. I mean, that's our extreme, but our -40 and -50 wind chill is like -20 in Texas.
Yeah.
Wow. So any relief in sight?
So we thought there was supposed to be relief. We were supposed to get above 0 tomorrow, and then gradually get up there to, I think we were supposed to get to 24 degrees for Sunday. so that's a nice change. But I think some areas that's changed. But next week, Wednesday, we're supposed to be, I think, at 28 degrees here. So,
oh my word. And there's still snow on the ground.
And there's still snow on the ground right now. Yes, there's chance of freezing rain tonight still. So
well, we thought we had extremes in Manitoba. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think for me, growing up in Manitoba and coming to Texas, everyone's like, oh, the weather changes so frequently. And I was like, okay. It's like, well, back home, we'd go to a baseball game and you'd be dressed for every single season that could happen during that game, because there's a good chance it might.
True.
Here it just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to give us a peek into Texas there. Stay safe, stay warm. Anyone you want to give a shout out to here in Manitoba?
Just all my family and friends out in Manitoba. Stay warm, and hopefully you guys get the rest of the snow this winter.
Right on. Hey, and I appreciate you wearing that Jets hat too.
Thanks.
Well
Go Jets tonight.
All right. Thanks, James.
All right. Bye-bye.